Good morning. It is Tuesday, February 20th. Here's what we're working on. MPPs head back to the Ontario legislature after a 10-week break.
Tax season officially kicks off today, and there's a few changes in store for the 2024 filing season.
And Alex Van Halen is set to release a memoir about his relationship with his younger brother and bandmate, Eddie Van Halen. Okay, today is back to work for most people.
And school.
Yes, and back to school, that's right.
Back to school.
Yeah.
Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, yes, and I can already tell it's back to it by the highway cameras.
Yes, the volume.
Yeah, really, already this morning starting to see some volume. So, yeah, after a nice 3-day break, and actually, it was a little chilly yesterday. We only got to -2 yesterday, so we had a little bit of a chill in the air. But today, we're going to have sunny skies and a 4-degree high, +4 for the day today, so lovely. Tomorrow, we're going to double that. We should hit 8 degrees and have lots of sunshine for the day tomorrow. So we've got actually 3 mild days before the temperature starts to fall. So enjoy the bit of melt that's going to be happening as we continue through the day. So no sunshine yet. Our temperature right now is on the chilly side, -5, wind chill -7 at the moment. We'll talk about it coming up. Checking traffic, here's the 403 and Waterdown Road. We usually start with our camera, and that's the way it looks right now. Not a lot to see right there, so that still looks good. We'll go to the Red Hill Creek camera. We'll start there. As you can see, there's a lot more volume, even already this morning than we had all through the morning yesterday. Nothing to see right there. Top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge still moving nicely. No problems at Burl Oak, but it is starting to get a little bit busier now than it was a while ago. So we'll look at weather and traffic coming up. Right now, the news.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, tax season is underway. The Chartered Professional Accountants of Canada say there are a number of changes for filing this year. Simone Gavros joins us now from the Canada Revenue Agency building in downtown Hamilton with more.
Hi, good morning, Annette. Well, yes, tax season has started. It started yesterday, so that means that Canadians can start filing their taxes online. And if you're planning to file with paper, people should have already received their tax packages already in the mail. But as you mentioned, there are a number of changes that are happening this year. Now, the Chartered Professional Accountants of Canada have said that there are going to be a temporary flat rate method for claiming employees' home office expenses like rent, electricity, internet, and office supplies, and that is no longer available. Eligible employees could previously claim $2 for each day worked from home during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, those who are eligible for the Canada Workers Benefit will have those payments issued automatically rather than applying for advance payments. There's also a new First Home Savings account for first-time home buyers, deductions for tools if you're a tradesperson, and a credit for renovating your home so a relative can live there. Now, those who need help filing their returns can speak with a CRA volunteer at a free tax clinic in their area. Now, the deadline to file your taxes for most Canadians is April 30th. Tim, I'll send things over to you.
All right, thanks, Simone. Well, the next session at Queen's Park, it will begin this morning where the new Get It Done Act, that's going to be introduced. The act includes a new law to force future governments to hold a referendum on any provincial carbon pricing plan, ban new tolls on provincial highways, and make license plate renewals automatic. It will also streamline the environmental assessment process for new developments. But critics are calling it performative politics and are instead focusing on the promised repeal of an unconstitutional salary restriction known as Bill 124. The law caps salary increases for public sector workers at 1% a year for 3 years, but has since been struck down in court.
The Premier chose to go after these workers, to suppress their wages below inflation at a time when the cost of housing, of rent, and of groceries have been going up.
So also expected before the session wraps up in June, a plan to address financial struggles facing many of Ontario's post-secondary institutions, more housing legislation as the Ford government tries to get on track to build 1.5 million homes by the year 2031.
Police are looking for a Hamilton woman who hasn't been seen in more than a month. 23-year-old Nicole Tenaz was last seen January 10th near Forest Avenue and Walnut Street in central Hamilton. She's 5'6" with a thin build and brown eyes. Her hair is brown, but she frequently colors it. Well, construction is about to start on Hamilton's first hospice for children. Kemp Care Network is eyeing land next to Wentworth Lodge, a long-term care home in Dundas. It's a 7-minute drive from McMaster Children's Hospital. The hospice is going to be named after the son of Kemp Care CEO Keaton. He died at the age of 7 in 2010 after 3 years of chemotherapy.
We have a world-renowned children's hospital, and we do not have hospice services. And every day that we don't have these are supports that our families who are living in the community don't have. And it is so important for us to get these doors open.
And the ribbon cutting for the new children's hospice is expected to happen in spring of 2026.
Into Sportsline we go. It was holidays on both sides of the border, meaning plenty of afternoon sports to take in, which included the Maple Leafs in a rare midday tilt in St. Louis, where Austin Matthews was trying to keep his scoring tear going.
And Marner couldn't get it to him, but gets the puck back. Nice retrieval in front. Matthews scores. It's 49, and the Leafs have the lead.
Yeah, 49th goal in his 53rd game. He was coming off back-to-back hat tricks, so there was no hat trick of a hat trick. But that goal did put the Leafs in front for good over St. Louis and a team that they beat just last week. Willie Nylander would score his 29th of the season. The Leafs have now won 4 straights as they doubled up the Blues 4-2. Matthews now has a chance to reach the 50-goal mark where he grew up as the Leafs head to Arizona and face the Coyotes tomorrow night.
2-on-1 with Patrick Thomas. Lavoie trying to join as well. Jack Ice drive, save, rebound, score!
Yeah, to a family day affair in Brantford where the Bulldogs, they are cruising right now. Patrick Thomas would score his 2nd of the night at the start of the 3rd, which would be the game winner. Things got a little interesting right at the end of the game, though, as Erie was awarded a penalty shot with 36 seconds left. But David Egorov would stop Andre Molnar, part of a 36-save first-star effort. Bulldogs clinch a 7th straight playoff appearance as they beat Erie 3-2 for a 5th straight win. 4 wins in 6 nights. Also, Bulldogs Foundation set a 50-50 record with over $47,000 up for grabs. A very successful campaign for the foundation.
Great chance earlier in the period. Lost it, handle it back the other way in transition. It's Matthew Joseph with a lane. Joseph scores.
Good news for Michael Andlauer's other team, as Matthew Joseph would score his 2nd goal of the night in Tampa to put the Senators up 3-0. They would then hold on for the 4-2 win for a 7th win in 11 games and snap a 2-game slide. They attempt a late playoff push. Tampa, meanwhile, struggle in after losing 9-2 to Florida on Saturday. They trail the Leafs by 3 points, with Toronto having 3 games at hand.
1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank, and away they go. That is Cindric into Chastain and up into traffic.
I think it's William Byron. I think so. 40 years to the day, Hendrick Motorsports goes 1-2 at the Daytona.
The Great American Race, Daytona 500, pushed to Monday because of weather. Had plenty of activity, especially in the last few laps. But William Byron won the checkered flag as a wreck occurred just as his 24 car received the white flag for the final lap. First Daytona 500 win for Byron, who finished ahead of his Hendrick Motorsports teammates. Alex Bowman is the 9th Daytona win for Hendrick on the 40th anniversary of its first race. And I want to finish with some great news for the Tiger Cats and their fans, as they have re-signed CFL All-Star receiver Tim White to a 2-year contract extension. 29-year-old posted 75 receptions and a league-high 1,296 yards with 8 TDs last season, where he was one of the highest-paid receivers. So according to reports, he got a raise, but it did fall short of the $300,000 that he was asking for. White does provide Bo Levi Mitchell with a #1 receiver threat.
Hey, it's 9 minutes after 6 o'clock already here on this, Tuesday, getting back at it after our long weekend. We're looking pretty good so far this morning as far as traffic is concerned. No problems, no collisions, not a lot of volume. It is building. It's busier than it was last hour, but still doing okay. 403 Waterdown Road, nothing to see right there. Same with the length, the Red Hill Valley Parkway, all doing fine. To our MTO traffic cameras, and once again, we usually start in St. Catharines, QEW Ontario Street, not a lot there. Red Hill Creek really hasn't changed. The 403 Junction, right around Brant, looks good. East of Royal Windsor, past the Ford plant, all the way through the 427 Gardner, as you can see here, doing fine. Temperature at the moment, it's a little chilly this morning. We're not around seasonal overnight low. We're a little above that, -5. Winds are fairly light, but they are from the southeast actually. That makes it feel like -8. Skies are fairly clear, and that's the way it's going to be for the day today. So off to school, 4 degrees today, +4 in the sunshine with light winds. So that's a very nice day for this time of year. All thanks to that ridge of high pressure moving up the east coast, giving us the clearing trend. That's going to stay with us today. Tomorrow afternoon, a little bit more cloud cover during the day, and then we'll get some showers pushing in on Thursday. But it's going to be on the mild side, definitely. So today, look at the temperatures, anywhere from +3 to +4 degrees in the sunshine today. So enjoy this. Tonight, the skies will stay clear, but it won't be quite as chilly. Temperatures tonight down to -3, wind chills -5 or so, -6. So a chilly night, but not a really bitterly cold night for February. Look at the temperatures tomorrow. 7 and 8 degrees in the sunshine tomorrow. Do I hear anything from over there? Woohoo! Listen to that from Emily. She just loves this. So looking at the sunshine tomorrow. So out the door, 20th morning of February, it's -5. It's mainly clear. That is a cold temperature when you factor in the wind chill. It's -7 at the moment. We'll look at the long range coming up. Annette, Tim.
Okay, let's find out if Emily is that excited about Chit Chat.
What was that noise you made? Cool.
Yeah, it's my thing. I am going to talk to Brian, though. I'm seeing some temperature anomalies for the long-range maps at the end of February. So, Brian, we need to discuss that later on. But do you guys drink Starbucks?
No.
No.
Would you drink it if it was meat flavored?
Meat flavored?
Meat flavored. I'm not going to tell you what flavor of meat. But there is a country that is coming out with meat-flavored coffee. That will be coming up in Chit Chat. And Alex Van Halen has written a book we will discuss on the couch.
Okay.
We will see you then.
All righty. Coming up after the break, StatsCan is getting ready to release the latest inflation numbers today. We'll tell you what the big banks are predicting and give you a heads up on a big strike. 6:14 on your Tuesday morning, and in overseas trading, the Canadian dollar is down just ever so slightly, down 1 basis point to 74.12 cents U.S. Gold is up more than $12, while crude has lost 77 cents to $77.69 a barrel. Checking midday trading in Europe, the markets are down in London and Frankfurt, but up in Paris.
Off to Asia we go. Markets are down in Tokyo, but up in Hong Kong and Shanghai. North American markets, nothing. They're all closed yesterday for the holiday. They're back to business today, though, on this Tuesday, February the 20th.
Well, Canada's latest inflation numbers are set to be released later this morning. Analysts with RBC, CIBC, and TD Banks are all projecting it to have dropped last month to about 3.2%. That would be down from the 3.4% in December. Energy and food prices were a little bit lower last month. Inflation is slowly getting closer to the Bank of Canada's 2% target as high borrowing costs continue to cause consumers and businesses to pull back a bit on spending.
So there's a potential strike on the horizon in Canada's 2 biggest railways. The union, representing more than 9,000 workers at CN Rail and CP Kansas City, has asked the federal government to appoint a conciliator to help reach a new contract for train conductors, engineers, and yard workers. The Teamsters Canada Rail Conference says the 2 railroads want to scrap key rest provisions, which it argues could increase crew fatigue and put public safety at risk.
You may have some delays or cancellations if you're flying Lufthansa today. The airline says about 10 to 20% of its flights have been impacted by a strike in Germany. So the union for on-ground staff have walked off the job for the day at 7 airports across the country. This follows a similar, much larger strike earlier this month. Workers want a raise of 12.5%. Today's strike is set to last until 7 a.m. tomorrow, local time.
Well, two of America's biggest lenders and credit card issuers may be coming under one roof. Capital One has announced it is buying Discovery Financial Services in an all-stock deal worth $35.3 billion. Capital One has a market value of more than $52 billion U.S., while Discovery sits around $28 billion. The merger would be one of the biggest so far this year. The deal is expected to receive intense antitrust scrutiny, but if it does go through, it would form the 6th largest U.S. bank by assets and a U.S. credit card behemoth that could compete with rivals J.P. Morgan Chase and Citigroup.
The European Union has launched a formal investigation into TikTok. It's trying to determine whether the company is doing enough to protect minors on its platform. It's also looking at other suspected violations of the EU's Digital Services Act. The Commission is going to assess whether the company, which is owned by China's ByteDance, is complying with requirements to mitigate the risk of users becoming addicted to their content and to safeguard minors' privacy and safety. The European Commission says TikTok's age verification tools, which are aimed at preventing children from accessing inappropriate content, quote, may not be reasonable, proportionate, and effective.
Starbucks has opened its first cafe designed to give customers with disabilities more store accessibility. So this one's in Washington, D.C. Here's a look. It includes a softer indoor lighting to minimize glare, shadow patterns and backlighting to help people read menu items or in-store info. Materials that minimize background noise or echoes, which could disrupt people using hearing aids, and minimum clutter at the front of the store, just to make it easier for customers in wheelchairs or motorized scooters to get around. And lower counters where coffee and food is placed for pickup for wheelchair access. Starbucks says all renovated and new cafes will implement these new features.
A prescription nasal spray is being recalled because it could be contaminated with bacteria. Apomomentazone is used for allergy symptoms in children, sinusitis in patients 12 and older, and for nasal polyps in adults. 2 lots of this spray, made by Apotex, are being recalled with expiry dates of September 2025 and October 2025. Patients are asked to stop using the spray and to get medical help if you have a fever, facial pain, or pressure. Health Canada says it is monitoring the company's recall.
Yeah, that's a look at business news. We've got a giveaway right now. The National Home Show returns to the Enercare Centre. Here's your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets.
So this show takes place over 2 weekends, March 8th to 10th and the 13th to 17th. Get expert advice, learn hands-on skill, and meet the vendors that could help you complete your next home project. To enter, head to our contest page at chch.com/morninglivegiveaways.
Are you cold?
It is very cold in here. I'm going into the canteen, which is so much warmer. It's about 10 degrees warmer in there.
Warmer. Well, it is a cold start, but Brian will let you know how much it's going to warm up on this Tuesday as we're back to work, back to school.
Just about 6:23 on this Tuesday morning now, checking our MTO traffic cameras. Right off the get-go here before we get to our forecast. Nothing going on in St. Catharines all the way through Niagara. Pretty light volume. Oh boy, but different story. Already getting busy at the top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge. This is on the Hamilton side, so Toronto bound towards us. Burloak, nothing there. Sheridan still looks good through Mississauga. No problems going past Burnham Thorpe. Toronto bound heading away from us on that camera. Temperatures starting out the morning here. Temperature in Hamilton right now is -5. The winds make it feel like about -8 at the moment. -8 for Mississauga, -3 Toronto, -4 for Grimsby. We'll talk about seasonals for this time of year. 0 for the daytime high. We were shy of that yesterday. And -9 for the overnight low. Sun times and our records for today. And yeah, we're going to get that sunshine for today, the 20th of February. For school today, we should be about -3 by the first bell this morning. And then 4 degrees after school, with lots of sunshine for the day. So today 4, tonight down to -3, so a milder overnight tonight to start the day tomorrow. 8 degrees in the sunshine tomorrow. Yep, we'll get a little bit more cloud cover rolling in for later in the afternoon, and then showers are possible on Thursday, but 7 degrees. So the temperature comes down on Friday a little bit, but still sunny and 4 degrees, very nice. And then it gets cold for Saturday, high of only -2. But look at the temperature building again. Sunday into Monday, 3 and 5. That's your forecast at 10.
This is a fascinating story.
Yeah.
Termites have been known to destroy buildings. But could they also help build better ones? This Swedish architect says they can.
Termites are absolutely incredible at constructing. They work with very limited resources and they work with materials that are entirely sourced from their environment. And they're able to create something which is perfectly suitable not only for them, but also for the fungus with which they live in symbiosis.
Architect David Andreen says the networks of tunnels and vents through termite mines could help us construct buildings with more efficient temperature and humidity systems. He has traveled the world researching how termites in different climates adapt their building methods to maintain similar climates inside the mounds. They mix up chewed wood with fungus to help create their complex structures, not unlike us using a 3D printer. So far, Andreen says his research hasn't been applied, but with 3D printers developing rapidly, buildings that use these termite-inspired designs could someday see daylight.
Ooh, okay.
That's fascinating.
I bet you he's the golden boy of his family, too.
I bet he is. I wonder if he has a brother that hosts a morning show.
Yeah, I wonder. Definitely the golden boy for coming up with something like that.
Yeah.
Come on.
You gonna show that to your brother?
Yeah, have you done? What have you done?
Yeah,
Ray?
what have you done?
Huh? Come on. Okay. Half hour down. Lots more to come on your Tuesday morning. A little chilly starts, but we're gonna see some sun. I know it's back to work, back to school.
Another brick in the wall.